Missouri governor announces every adult Missourian will be eligible for COVID-19 vaccines by early April. We'll look at a push to add diversity officer to the Joplin school staff.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Every adult in Missouri will be eligible to get a COVID-19 vaccine starting in early April. This is KOAM News at 10. Governor Parson today announced the state will move to phases 2 and 3 of its vaccine distribution plan earlier than expected. He says it's due to an influx in vaccines after purchases at the federal level.
When we activated Tier 3, we said we would be able to activate Phase 2 within 45 days of March the 15th. However, with progress we're currently seeing and vaccine supply expected to increase significantly in the coming weeks, we are well ahead of schedule.
The state will move to Phase 2 of its vaccine distribution plan on March 29th. The governor says through Phase 2, more than 800,000 Missourians will become eligible for vaccines. Those include workers in the construction field, critical manufacturing, higher education, the remaining workers in the food and agriculture sectors, and the state's homeless population. Then on April 9th, just over 3 weeks from now, the state will move to Phase 3 of its vaccination plan. That'll make every adult Missourian eligible for a vaccine. Today marks a year since the city of Joplin declared a state of emergency for the pandemic. On March 18th of 2020, the Joplin mayor signed a state of emergency declaration, the city's first step in responding to the pandemic. The declaration restricted mass gatherings to under 50 people and limited the number of people at certain businesses to 50% of their capacity. That meant many events like Third Thursday had to be canceled. But the Downtown Joplin Alliance now plans to bring the fan favorite back next month with a few changes.
We're just going to try to spread vendors out. We're going to try to make sure we have the vendors with probably an extra booth space in between. And we're not going to do any major performances or things like that early on. Just again, trying to reduce spots of congestion.
The case rate in the city has decreased dramatically in the last few months. In November, the 7-day average of new cases was 47 per day. Yesterday, that number was just over 3 new cases per day. For the latest news and resources related to the COVID-19 vaccine, go to our website, koamnewsnow.com/vaccine. On that same page, you'll find a form that you can fill out to send us your questions about COVID-19 and vaccine distribution. Again, that's at koamnewsnow.com/vaccine. Doug Hetty joins us now with a first look at the weather. As you predicted, it was cold out there today, Doug.
It was chilly. We had the clouds and we had some showers during the morning hours, but our high temp only up to 44 during the afternoon. Eventually last night we got down to about 33 degrees, but our average high is 61. This storm system pretty much done with us. We still have the clouds and a couple random sprinkles out there, but in general, all this is going to dissipate very quickly over the next few hours and we'll start to clear out. If we take a look out toward the west, there's not a ton going on. That's our weather as we go through the next few days. We just have to slowly warm back up. Most of us are sitting low to mid 40s. Eventually, once the clouds break, we'll get down into lower 30s later on tonight. At least the wind isn't as strong as what it was earlier today, but still a little breezy. We'll drop back to about 31, but warmer tomorrow. It's going to be sunny. High temp at 55. We'll look at the weekend here in just a bit.
Coalition of local social justice groups has called on the Joplin School District to make a new hire to help the district deal with diversity. KOAM's Mike Mahoney spoke to them about what they'd like to see change.
Joplin for Justice has created a coalition with other 4-state groups dedicated to social justice, including the Joplin NAACP, Jomo Pride, the Emancipation Celebration Committee, and more. And they've issued a call of action to the Joplin School District.
A call to action that we hire a full-time diversity, equity, and inclusion officer in Joplin schools.
The groups that make up this coalition say the Joplin School District is becoming more diverse every year, and hiring a diversity, equity, and inclusion officer will help it adjust to student and staff needs.
A diversity officer is going to have a very specific role targeting policies, practices, and even providing trainings to our staff and faculty. So really focused on making this an inclusive and welcoming environment in every way.
One of the reasons the Joplin NAACP is on board is because they feel similar hires in other cities have proven to be successful.
This is a nationwide movement. This is not a Joplin movement, and hopefully Joplin, they are listening. They're going to take this step, and it's going to be a grassroots. It's just going to spread because it's nothing but positive.
Joplin school representatives were unavailable for an interview, but the district's director of educational support pointed to the school's social equity group at West Central Elementary, saying, "Our goal is to scale our work more district-wide to focus not only on faculty and staff training, but also look at more effective ways we can attract and retain minority teachers and staff, adjust our curriculum to be more inclusive of minority representation, while examining minority student academic outcomes and social-emotional needs." Joplin for Justice says they haven't received a response to their hiring request, but says they plan to follow up. In Joplin, Mike Mahoney, KOAM News.
Joplin for Justice Representative Dola Flake also has a personal lawsuit against the Joplin School District that calls on the hiring of a diversity professional, but she says that's unrelated to the hiring request made by Joplin for Justice and others at a recent school board meeting. The artists behind a Black History Month exhibit at Pitt State get the chance to talk about their work. The History Club and Black Student Association partnered to host an open gallery night. Visitors were able to view the work and hear from the artists behind the works. History Club President Noah Larson was the featured speaker.
It felt really great. The best part was being able to see everyone's reaction to the photos, and even just seeing that history connect with everyone. For any historian or archivist, that's always a plus.
The event was held at the Bicknell Family Center for the Arts. Still ahead, Kansas lawmakers debate a bill that would ban transgender student athletes from competing in girls' and women's school sports. And President Biden says the U.S. is on the verge of a vaccine milestone, but now is not the time to be complacent. Kansas legislators on both sides are trading sometimes bitter accusations as Republican lawmakers advance a proposal to ban transgender students from girls' and women's school sports. The GOP-controlled state Senate approved a bill that would enact the ban, sending the measure to the Republican-controlled House. Governor Laura Kelly calls it regressive. The Senate's top Democrat calls the bill hateful and suggests her male colleagues are arguing that men are just superior. But supporters argue that girls and women would lose scholarships and other life-changing opportunities without such a ban, and repeatedly referred to transgender girls as biological boys. President Biden is marking an important milestone in the fight against COVID-19, saying the country will hit his goal of administering 100 million COVID shots 6 weeks ahead of schedule. That good news is tempered by a worrisome sign that cases are rising again. Skylar Henry adds more from Washington.
President Biden says by Friday, the nation will have met his goal of administering 100 million vaccine doses in his first 100 days in office.
This is a time for optimism, but it's not a time for relaxation. I need all Americans. I need all of you to do your part.
The president's words of warning come as cases are surging in 15 states.
If we pull back prematurely, we may trigger another surge.
Health officials like Dr. Anthony Fauci are still urging everyone to wear masks. That sparked a tense moment on Capitol Hill between him and Senator Rand Paul.
You want to get rid of vaccine hesitancy? Tell them they can quit wearing their mask after they get the vaccine.
Let me just state for the record that masks are not theater. Masks are protective.
In New York, Mayor Bill de Blasio received his single-dose Johnson & Johnson vaccine.
Great feeling when you know you've been vaccinated and you can protect your loved ones and your family and your whole community.
At a pop-up site in Queens, seniors relished getting the Moderna shot.
I'm happy I have this, but I'll be happier once I have the second one and I know that I'm completely covered.
The New York Health Department tells CBS News the massive Javits Center will ramp up its vaccination capacity to operate 24/7 again when supply increases. Skylar Henry, CBS News, Washington.
The CBS News has also learned the CDC plans to revise its 6-foot social distancing guidance down to 3 feet in schools tomorrow. There's new information on the attacks around Atlanta that killed 8 people on Tuesday, including 6 Asian women. The suspect, 21-year-old Robert Longhair, is charged with murder and aggravated assault. Investigators say they're not sure if the attacks were racially motivated. Sheriff's Office spokesman Jay Baker is taking criticism for saying the suspect had a bad day. Doug Heddy is up next for this complete forecast. And later, Missouri Southern's Cam Martin has made his mark on the Lions basketball program, and now he looks to take those talents elsewhere.
Well, it turned out to be a cold, kind of nasty day for us today. Temperatures, they really struggled to warm up as we only went into the low to mid 40s for afternoon highs. Of course, we had this storm system, gave us severe weather twice yesterday, once in the morning, once in the evening, and then it finished off with a little bit of snow late last night into the early morning hours. So our 1/4 inch of precip today, that's mainly snow, came down really hard in southeastern Kansas, southwestern parts of Missouri, accumulated for a while, covered the ground, made it white, some areas 1 to 2 inches, and then of course it melted off very quickly in about an hour, hour and a half once we switched back over to rain. But for the month, we're at 5 inches. For the year, we're just shy of 10, so we're right about the same spot we were at this time last year. Great shot, Indigo Sky Casino and Resort, of course. Indigo's just outside of Seneca, Missouri, and a nice shot here, even though we still have the clouds and a little bit of drizzle in spots, but in general, we're looking better than what we have over the past 24 hours. Starting to cool down, 39 in Lamar, 46 still in Chanute. We have Welch at 44, Grove at 43, Cassville at 39, Carthage at 40, but once the clouds really break up, that's when our temperatures are going to drop later on tonight. Also, it's been windy all day long, so that northerly wind just kind of cut through you and made it feel like it was colder than what it actually was. But the winds are starting to diminish a bit as well, which is also pretty nice as we head through the next couple days. We still have a few random sprinkles out there, but these are going to be dying off as we go through the overnight hours behind this whole storm system. You can see that band of snow last night as it quickly rolls out during the morning hours. So most of this system is now east of us, but we're right on the backside. We still have some clouds, but again, those clouds are going to break up over the next couple hours. And if you look west, you go from Bismarck to Denver to Albuquerque, there's nothing going on. That's our weather for about the next 3 days. Then we'll get into this stuff. The next storm system, which is going to roll in by the time we head into Monday. So let's go through time for us tonight. We clear out, gets cold, we drop back to about 30 or 31 degrees, but plenty of sunshine for us on Friday. It's still going to be chilly. We still have this northeasterly wind, but it's better than today. 31 to start, 49 by noon, high temp right around 55. We're going to have those northeasterly winds at about 5 to 10. Tomorrow night, still clear, still cold. We drop back near freezing again, and then as we head into Saturday, we get those southerly winds, and the weekend's going to be fantastic. We're going to go into the mid-60s Saturday. On Sunday, we'll go into the mid-60s. Then on Monday, that's when we'll start to watch this next storm system. It's going to push out, so by Monday afternoon, showers, even some thunderstorms. Some of these could be strong. Right now, I'm not thinking severe, but something I want to keep my eyes on over the next couple days. The brunt of the system pushes through, and then on Tuesday, we get on the backside, so just kind of cooler with showers. Then even another wave moves in by Wednesday, and another storm system next Friday, late Friday into Saturday. So it stays active once again for us next week. All right, kind of chilly tonight, dry for the next few days, 55 tomorrow, 64 Saturday, 64 on Sunday. So a great weekend to get outside, maybe start doing your spring preparation for planting or seeding the yard or whatever you want to do.
Yeah, it's going to be a great weekend to be outside in the 60s.
Absolutely.
Well,
yeah, I can't beat it.
You bet. Thanks, Doug. The Carthage Crisis Center's Board of Directors is making your donations stretch a bit further. The board announced it would do a matching gift challenge for a time. The board will match every dollar donated to the Crisis Center up to a total of $20,000. The money donated will provide comfort for people in a time of need, people like Brooke Ramirez-Puo.
It's awesome. I think it's awesome because it's helping us all. You know, everyone that needs help, they try to help.
And I say, I don't know how many times.
The board will match donations for the next 6 weeks. Students from Joplin's College Heights Christian School are making a donation of a different sort. They're donating their hard work for Missions Week. It's an annual event. Some students travel as far as Orlando and Arlington, Texas. But there's also work to be done right here at home. Around 40 students are providing services to God's Resort, Neighborhood Life House, Watered Gardens, Rafa House, and the Lafayette House.
We were supposed to have teams go to Costa Rica, but we had people go to Orlando and New Orleans. And those are good trips, but there's still a lot of need here in your hometown. So if you're able to try to help in your own town just as much as you may go to other places and help.
It's not just high schoolers. Last week, College Heights middle school students worked at Life Choices Maranatha Bible Camp and their school and church. Coming up in sports, it's rivalry night for Pitt State and Missouri Southern volleyball. Plus, Cam Martin leaves Missouri Southern as one of the best to suit up for the Lions. Jacob Leonard has that story next.
Well, tonight is the night for Missouri Southern football. The Lions are on the road against Southern Nazarene in their one and only game of the spring. This one, also the first for Southern under head coach Atiba Bradley. Lions win a good one, 21-20. Southern finished it off by stopping a 2-point conversion with under a minute left in the fourth. Well, it is rivalry night for Pitt State and Missouri Southern volleyball. The two teams meet tonight in Pittsburgh for their second and final meeting of the spring. The Lions aim to sweep the season series after beating the Gorillas in Joplin earlier this month. First set, Alyssa Diaz puts it down. Southern rolls in the first set 25-16. Second set, tight early. Jaden Sanford goes cross court, keeps it in. Lions, though, would also take the second. Big block here from CC Pollard. Pollard good in the second. Also gets the kill here. Southern takes set 2, 25-16. To the third now, Moira Casillas finds the open spot. Gorillas led the third for a while, but Southern gets the sweep 3-0. 11 kills, 0 errors tonight for CC Pollard.
She played like an upperclassman tonight. I was really impressed with her effort, with her execution, and with her decision making, but she's also a great teammate, and so it was fun to watch her play tonight. I think it's just exciting. It's exciting for our girls, it's exciting for our program, but as rivalries go, this is one of the games that we'll be playing for years, so we have to stay humble.
Missouri Southern basketball standout Cam Martin has entered the transfer portal. Martin will transfer as a graduate student, aiming to help out a Division I program next season. Danny Terzer catches up with Martin and Missouri Southern head coach Jeff Boschee to talk about Martin's legacy as one of the best to do it at Missouri Southern.
Cam Martin leaves the Missouri Southern basketball program forever changed.
The things that he did on the court are special. I don't think they'll ever be duplicated here. And in 3 seasons, for him to almost become the all-time leading scorer is beyond remarkable.
The decision to transfer wasn't an easy one.
I felt like it was best for me to go to another year of college, and I like to play at the Division I level and try and prove I can do the same thing at the Division I level I did at the Division II level.
Martin credits Missouri Southern for shaping him into the player he is today.
I felt like I got coaches at Missouri Southern, my teammates got me a lot better over the 3 years. A big way you can tell I got better was my perimeter game. And that just came from all summer working with Coach Boschee.
Martin's work ethic has paid off.
His points and his production on the floor will be something that will go down in history. And, I don't think at this level, I don't think I'll ever coach a kid as dominant as Cam.
The news didn't come as much of a shock.
They kind of all pretty much said they didn't think I belonged to the Division II level, and they're just excited to see me go prove and do what I can do at the highest level. And that was really cool hearing that from them.
Now, Martin's focus is on finding a program that is the right fit.
I'm looking to go somewhere where my role is going to be similar to what it was at Missouri Southern. I don't want to see my minutes drop, my playing time drop, points drop. Somewhere that really needs me, not somebody that just wants me.
His long-term plan is to go pro. As for the program he leaves behind, there are big shoes to fill.
I'm trying to find the next Cam Martin right now, and we're going to have to kind of, I guess, fill his spot with a couple people to replace the amount of production and things that he did for this program.
In Joplin, Danny Terzer, KOAM Sports.
Martin says he will make a final decision on his next stop sometime in mid-April. Now that's a look at sports. We're back with more news after this.
Take time to honor a local veteran, Private First Class Bill Duncan. Joplin native served in the U.S. Air Force. Private First Class Bill Duncan is tonight's four-state hero. Dictionary.com has added 600 new words. 2 of those words are supposedly and finna. The site defines finna as a contraction of fixin' to, meaning getting ready to do something. Dictionary.com defines supposedly as may be assumed, imagined, or supposed. According to Merriam-Webster.com, supposedly is often used when the speaker intends to use supposedly, which usually means allegedly. I think finna, I'll look that up. Not a sentence I would have thought I'd ever use. Doug Heddy, let's take a final look at the weather.
All right, it's going to be cold for us tonight. We're going to drop back to about 31 degrees. Mostly sunny skies, really about the next 3 days. We're going to start to warm things back up tomorrow. 55, 64 Saturday, 64 on Sunday, but then chances for showers and thunderstorms sneak back in by Monday.
See you right back here tomorrow. In the meantime, let's take care of ourselves and each other.